Many people messaged me and asked this. In 2026, US stocks were still near highs. Should assets still follow the old path of dollar cost averaging into SPY? My answer probably kept you awake tonight. You thought you enjoyed compound growth. But if you had not opened the IRS's newly updated 2026 tax brackets, you probably did not realize this. You were paying for your future financial freedom in a high-tax era. You might think taxes could not touch you if you did not sell. In 2026, that idea was naive. As Trump-era tax laws faced expiration and reshuffling, the wealth logic of the American middle class already changed. Every dollar you put into a 401 crease, if you did not understand future tax brackets, was not retirement savings. It was a delayed payment to the IRS. Most Chinese families fell into a hard-working investor trap. They watched account numbers, not real purchasing power. In this era of high rates, high inflation, and high tax expectations, if your asset logic still followed 2020, you did not beat inflation. You paid for US deficits. Were you really ready to see $2 million shrink by half in 20 years because of hidden taxes and policy changes? To talk about money, we had to talk about rules. In the USS, investing without rules was like running naked. In 2026, everyone talked about rate cuts, but few watched the tax earthquake in Washington. After 2025, many tax cut windows closed. With Secure Act 3 rumors and tighter RMD rules, the old save, wait, withdraw model hit a dead end. Property tax rose. Insurance rose. Those were obvious. The hidden part was this. By 2026, federal debt hit a tipping point. No matter who sat in the White House, higher tax capture was inevitable. You thought your Roth IRA was a safe harbor, but was it set up right? Many high-income families earned $200,000 or $300,000 a year and felt safe. Under the 2026 brackets, without income shifting, their real tax rate was 5 to 10% higher than expected. That extra 10% over 30 years of compounding meant a house. Did you really want to give that house to the government because of information gaps? So today, we looked at the 2026 numbers. First, the 401 time bomb. Most people maxed it out to save taxes. But were you saving now, or betting future taxes fell? High inflation meant future governments needed higher taxes. If you were 40, earned $150,000, and put everything into a traditional 401k, 20 years later, it grew to $3 million. Then the IRS said the lowest rate might be 30% or more. RMDs forced withdrawals when you did not need cash. The government used your time to manage a growing asset and took the larger share at the end. Second, the ignored capital gains trap. Many traded stocks in brokerage accounts. Volatility rose in 2026. Did you calculate capital gains tax? Without tax loss harvesting, every dollar earned lost 15–20% first. Add state tax in California or New York, and nearly 1/3 vanished. Investing was not what you earned. It was what you kept. Without tax planning, you worked for brokers and the IRS. Third, liquidity and long-term care risk. This worried me most. By 2026, long-term care costs exploded. Many felt free with $1 million in assets. Without protection structures, one illness could drain 30 years of savings in 3 years. The US medical system legally transferred middle-class wealth. Would you sell your home or tap untaxed retirement money? From the 2026 backdrop, I saw 3 red lines. First, do not worship cash. A 4% bank yield looked safe, but after 3% inflation and 25% tax, real returns were near zero. You shrank quietly. Second, do not confuse assets with cash flow. Homes and stocks were assets, but could they turn into cash without heavy taxes when needed? If all wealth sat in 401ks and homes, you were rich on paper, poor in cash. Third, do not ignore estate planning. You thought trusts were for later. In 2026, estate tax exemptions faced sharp drops. A home plus stocks could cross the line. Without planning, you left problems and tax bills, not wealth. Many said, "Bob, this made sense. I could plan next year. I said waiting was the biggest mistake in 2026. Tax windows ran by calendar year, miss a Roth conversion, and that tax-free growth was gone forever. Delay 1 year, at 7% returns over 30 years, and you lost hundreds of thousands, not 1 year of tax. First-generation immigrants worked hard to build wealth. It should not shrink because rules were ignored. Class solidification worsened. The rich had teams. The poor had benefits. The middle class was the IRS's favorite target. So in 2026, rational families focused on this. Asset color management. Red was taxable. Yellow was deferred. Green was tax-free. Increase green. Dynamic tax planning. Do not review once a year. Adjust with income swings. Defensive allocation. Not only big tech, some assets had inflation resistance and legal protection. Let me ask you this. If the IRS sent a letter saying One Right 2026 choice saved you $500,000 in taxes over 30 years, would that feel safer than catching a hot stock? Finance was monetized knowledge gaps. Those who knew rules harvested those who did not. I shared this to move you from making money to keeping money. The 2026 wealth reshuffle already started. If you did not know where your 401, IRA, home, and estate stood under new rules, slow down. List your family balance sheet. Check these traps. If this helped, like and follow. Every family was different. No plan fit all. If you hit roadblocks in 2026 planning, leave a comment or reach out. We could dig into your case.